입니다.
Good afternoon. I'm Jin Wonsuk. I have probably a similar hairstyle with Alain de Botton. Are you all here to see me? Thank you for coming. For a smooth proceeding of this session, we will be beginning this conference in English. So please make use of the receivers if you need interpretation service.
And I'm so excited to be here. And of course, we have a very exciting session. So first of all, we have some video before I introduce, to the great, this distinguished guest from the United States. We have some video to share with you. It's on this very new, interesting online company that is definitely taking the U.S. by storm on this very safe, non-toxic, eco-friendly products for families and babies. So why don't we take a look at some video first.
Is the most profound experience I've ever had. I'm Jessica Alba, mother of 2 gorgeous girls.
I'm Christopher Gavigan, and I've spent my adult career focusing on helping parents create healthy environments for their children.
All of my priorities in life have completely shifted to my children. I feel this intense responsibility now to create the safest, most loving, and healthiest environment for my family.
Before children, there's a classic selfishness about it. But when you're a parent, you have this great new opportunity to say, I will do anything for this new little being.
As good as it is, it could also be exhausting and totally overwhelming. I was definitely not prepared.
Today's parents, they're facing a new reality. Autism, allergies, childhood cancer. Yet most parents don't really understand how to protect their children from these chronic diseases.
I mean, there's so much information out there. It's hard to really figure out what is what and what are the right choices.
There's an assumption that everything on store shelves is safe. That is not always the case. There are many toxic chemicals found in everyday products that have been linked to these chronic diseases. But there's good news. We can make better and safer choices for our family.
We created The Honest Company because we had to. We had to make it easier for parents to buy safe products for their families.
And The Honest Company is committed to creating the safest, non-toxic, healthiest family and baby products around.
And you don't even have to go to the grocery store and get it. It just pops up on your doorstep. It's kind of perfect. Overall, our dream is to redefine the idea of the family brand.
Because we know that together, we can do things better.
We hope you'll join us.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, let's meet Brian Lee, a father of 2 and a serial entrepreneur who have founded many successful companies, including Zoom.com. Brian Lee, please come to the stage. And the next guest, of course, I think that's why you're here. Jessica Alba, the actress, and also an avid Korean seafood fan, mother of 2, and of course, an emerging entrepreneur. Please welcome Ms. Jessica Alba.
Hello?
Yes. Well, I guess this is a translation. We don't need this.
I don't think we need these.
Yeah. Here. Oh, they're taking pictures. Well, okay. Well, before I was approached by the Seoul Digital Forum to moderate this panel. Honestly, no pun intended, I didn't know too much about your company, Honest Company. Maybe you can, first of all, Jessica, tell us about how you started the company.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would like to start with 반갑습니다. Jessica Alba입니다. Okay, now the rest is going to be in English. I basically started the company really out of necessity. As a mother, I wanted this company to exist for my family. I wanted to have the safest and healthiest environment to raise my children in, and I couldn't find one company that I could really trust. So I really just created the Honest Company for my family and for all of your families as well.
Mm-hmm. So you had this idea, and then what happened next? I mean, you had this idea, so there weren't really products that you were looking for, so you started the company?
Well, basically, I had an allergic reaction to a laundry detergent that is meant for babies. And after I had this allergic reaction, I did research, and I found out that not just this laundry detergent, but other baby products had lots of toxic chemicals in them. And allergies is just one side effect to the exposure of these toxic chemicals. Childhood cancers, learning disabilities, obesity, and obviously allergies and asthma are side effects to the exposure to these toxic chemicals. And I didn't even want minimal exposure to these toxic chemicals for my child. So I tried to find eco-friendly products, and I found that a lot of companies that say they're eco-friendly are actually eco-friendly and good for the planet, but not for humans. So the packaging is eco-friendly, but what's inside is just as toxic as anything else, any other commercial brand. And so I just felt like families needed one company that they could trust that had high quality, high performance products that are affordable and non-toxic. So that's the Honest Company.
And then from my understanding, you then approached one of, I guess, the other founder, Christopher Gavigan?
Yes, Christopher Gavigan, who you saw in the video. He is an environmental health specialist. He wrote a book called Healthy Child, Healthy World, and he was also the CEO of this nonprofit, Healthy Child, Healthy World. And it basically explains the link to things in products, the phthalates, the carcinogenic ingredients that are in a lot of products that are in everybody's home, and they're linked to illnesses. So I read that book. I was freaked out. And I said, Christopher, we have to create the solution. Like, you gave us the knowledge about this, but we have to create an answer for families. So I recruited him.
Mm-hmm. And then after that, you approached Brian.
I did. And when I first approached Brian, he was too busy. He was like, that's a good idea, but I'm really busy right now.
Well, you're too busy for Jessica?
He was.
All right, let's hear your answer. So what was your first, I mean, I know you're already a successful entrepreneur. You did shoedazzle.com and LegalZoom.com. And then she approached you. What was your first response to her sort of approach to you?
Well, my first reaction really was I really believed in the mission that she was trying to accomplish. I was a little bit busy at the time, truthfully, but I loved her passion. And I loved that she first approached me about almost 5 years ago, truthfully. And about a year and a half ago is when I truly realized, you know what? She's still working on it. She was very determined. Even when I, really kind of said I was too busy the first time, she kept working at it. And it's kind of a lesson for all entrepreneurs, really. It's when you're a true entrepreneur, you never take no as an answer, and you just keep working at it and keep working at it. And when I saw, her determination, her passion for this, and my time freed up a little bit more, I was absolutely welcoming and really happy to join her and Christopher on this mission.
And then after that, I believe that you guys did a round of financing, and I believe you raised $27 million?
Yes, that's true.
Okay.
So we did raise quite a bit of money to start the business, but that's really a factor of, to start a company like this with the 40 products that we have in the marketplace today, it does take a little bit of more capital than your typical startup. So we design and manufacture everything in-house. We're vertically integrated supply chain, and so it does take a little bit more capital. But the company is off to a great start thanks to Jessica's promotion of it, her inspiration, and just the team's hard work.
Now, I hear that the company's certified B Corp.
Yes.
Okay, for those of us, I mean, including me, I'm not too familiar with that. Maybe you guys can explain to us what that is, and kind of like a, I guess, fair trade certification for a coffee trader. Maybe you can tell us a little bit about.
You can go ahead.
So a B Corporation is a classification in the United States where certain companies could apply to become designated as a B Corp. It really is for companies that are doing good for the environment as well as for people. And so we applied for the B Corp certification and we did receive it, and we're very proud to be a B Corporation.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, the company is called the Honest Company. It's an interesting name because it also kind of implies that many companies aren't honest.
That is true.
Really?
Yes.
So then in what particular aspect is the Honest Company honest?
Wow. Well, we disclose all of our ingredients, not just on our website, but on our bottles. Our bottles are all transparent, so you can see all the solution of what's inside. We say, we are very open about doing the best we can. We're not perfect, but we do try to make the best, highest quality products out there. And we're very open with that and open with our dialogue with our customer. And when our customers, when they want something from us, we iterate on that, and certainly from our products. When we launched with a certain wipe. This is a great example. We launched with this wipe. It was made out of bamboo fiber, which is all great for the planet, but from a practical standpoint, it wasn't really the greatest for moms. They wanted one that was thicker and that was larger. So we have a dialogue with our customers through social media, Facebook and Twitter. We're on Pinterest, Instagram, and they were telling us that they wanted us to make a better wipe. So it took us 5 months, and now we have the best wipe out in the marketplace. It's still a plant-based material. It's the thickest and largest, and it's incredible. And now our customers are going crazy because they know that we listen to them. So we are honest about that, and we're honest that we didn't maybe make the best choice in the beginning when we launched. We did the best we could, and then we went back and we reformulated, and now we have the best wipe on the market.
Why don't other companies be honest?
Well,
Yeah, well, I think for the Honest Company, it really is about transparency. It's transparency in disclosing every ingredient that we use. It's also transparency in the sense that, we, like Jessica said, nobody is perfect. No business is perfect, but we can try to be the best that we can. In terms of other companies, truthfully, it's the thing that resonated most with me with the Honest Company is that it is very mission driven, right? So unlike most companies out there, I would say, most companies out there are trying to make, really, truthfully, as much profit as they can. For us, it's not about profit per se. I mean, yes, we want to build a good business, a business that is profitable over the long term, and you could build a large, sustainable business. But the more focus, the core focus of what we're doing is, like I said, the mission. And the mission is to provide the most non-toxic, highest performing products that we can at an affordable price point. And so the way that we look at it, when Jessica and Christopher first showed me these charts of the rise of childhood cancers and childhood diseases like autism and chronic allergies in our children, the correlation between the rise of certain diseases and the usage of certain toxic chemicals in baby products was directly related, point for point. And the chart goes like this over since the 1970s when they first started using a lot of these chemicals to today. And so I realized very quickly that we, just as people, have done something wrong, right? We have used chemicals in our home, we have used preservatives and chemicals in our food, in our environment, and all over. And I just kind of felt like, you know what? Somebody's got to change this. Somebody has to fix this. And so, like Jessica said, we felt like we had to start this company. We had to start this company to make a difference.
You wrote a book called The Honest Life, which, by the way, I bought from Amazon.com, and they didn't, the organization didn't. I would love to get an autograph from, but it's unfortunately an ebook, so I can't get your autograph. But
The enhanced ebook is really good.
yeah,
I did
but
videos.
I'm learning a lot about. The research, that you put into. You are so knowledgeable about what's dangerous, harmful for us. When do you find the time? When did you find the time to do all that research? And
I spent a lot of nights up till 4 or 5 in the morning irritating my husband with my computer, researching chemicals, and actually, obviously I'm not an environmental health specialist. I'm not a scientist, and I'm not a doctor. I'm a mom who's concerned. So I did have every fact backed up in my book by Dr. Phil Landrigan from Mount Sinai, who really is the leader in the effects of toxic chemicals with people's health. And so his team went through the book, and I have their stamp of approval. So. They fact-checked everything, so I don't want anybody here to think that I'm trying to be an environmental health specialist or a scientist or a doctor. I leave that to the experts, but I did do a lot of research just as a concerned parent.
by the way, it's a good book. But I skipped the baby part because I don't have a baby yet.
There's only one chapter on baby. The rest of it's, pretty good.
Sure. You guys are in this sort of a tough space, dominated by, the multinational companies like P&G and Kimberly-Clark. Now, it must be very tough and, competitive and to really, compete with those guys. How does your business model differ from the existing models? Mm-hmm. Or like in sort of the marketplace? I mean, I'm sure they spend so much money on it,
Yes.
like on their products.
Well, it is always, of course, difficult to compete in a crowded space. But the way that we look at our products are very different, of course, where we do use sustainable plant-based materials and more natural and organic type ingredients. But with that said, we went to a conference, I don't know how long ago this was, about maybe 8 months ago, mm-hmm. in Boston, and somebody in the audience asked us, what happens if the Honest Company does so well that Procter & Gamble and Kimberly-Clark and some of these other large multinational companies start competing against you and start offering the same type of, very friendly, non-toxic diapers and products for your home? And the answer really was, we would welcome that. Remember when I told you that this is a very mission-driven business? We started this business to make a difference in this world and to provide a safer, healthier environment for future generations. And so if we could build the Honest Company to a very sizable business where these larger companies can pay attention, and if they change their formulations and their ingredients, then we're all better off as a people. So we welcome it.
All right. The theme of Seoul Digital Forum this year is the e-collaboration, more like kind of a collaboration. And this is an interesting collaboration between a Hollywood actress, celebrity, and of course, entrepreneur from Silicon Valley background. Now, for you, obviously, Brian Lee is a wonderful partner. When you first approached him, what made you think that he was the right partner for you?
Well, he's the smartest guy I know. There's that. He paid me like $100 to say that back there. Just
okay, I'll give you $200 now.
Okay. You're the second smartest guy I know. Really, Brian is, he really is one in a million. Not really. He is one and that's it. There is nobody else like Brian. He is so smart and so forward-thinking and so progressive, and there is no other person that can build a business model around an idea as complex as this idea. This is quite a complicated company to start. And, you know, like I said, Brian is the only guy that could have done it. And
Hold on, let me get you your $100.
but also, you know, as a person and as a human being, this is where the actress part comes in. I'm very emotional. Brian and I really connect. We have very similar values. We believe in you know, good business practices, and we do want to make a healthier world for our family and for generations to come. And he's a personal good friend of my husband's, so you know, we get along.
All right. All right. Here's the tough question for you.
Okay.
No, it's really not the tough question, but you know, before you approached him, obviously you already have a very attractive sort of this business model. Okay, healthy, safe products, you know, which I'm sure that appealed to a lot of customers. What did he really bring to the table? I mean, you already have this sort of, you know, sort of ingredients and whatnot. Why did you need him? I mean, couldn't you have just gone? I mean, I believe that you also went to like many investors and they said no to you.
No, I mean, I went to different business people and they wanted to enter the marketplace in a more traditional fashion. They wanted to do a brick and mortar model, or they wanted to use a third party for distribution. So going into traditional retail. To me, you would have to compromise on the quality of your product. You know, really the big difference between the Kimberly-Clarks and the Procter & Gamble's and all of that is we spend probably 5 times, if not 10 times more money on our product. So the quality of our product is just that much higher. In order to enter the marketplace at an affordable price point and have that high quality product, you need to go direct to your customer. You can't go through a third party distributor. And so that's really, you know, the key thing. Not having to rely on traditional retail.
And in terms of marketing and advertisement, obviously you're relying more on social media than just
completely. Yeah. I knew as a mom that that's how I consume, so I wasn't concerned with us not having any extra capital to spend on marketing and certainly traditional marketing, but utilizing the platform that moms use. I mean, there's 4.4 million mommy bloggers just in the United States alone, and that's how moms consume. The new village, so to say, it takes a village to raise a child. The new village is the internet. We consume through our peers, where you know, past generations you consumed through maybe your mother's advice. Now it's mom to mom advice. So I knew if we could tap into the mommy network and gain their trust, then that's to me the key to a successful business, certainly in this space.
All right. And Brian, when obviously the same question to you, what makes her a perfect partner? I mean, you partner with lots of other also celebrities in your previous ventures. What makes her the right and perfect partner for you?
Well, first I just want to say, as you can tell, I am the beauty and she is the brains. Right. But really, but you can see that. I mean, I've never met someone more passionate and more determined to make this happen. And it doesn't matter if she's Jessica Alba, the beautiful actress, or Jessica Alba, mommy of 2 beautiful children, or Jessica Alba, the businesswoman. She's determined, right? And for me, when I've partnered with anyone, it's not about celebrity. And it's not about, oh, this person's an actress or the most famous lawyer in the US. It really is, are they authentic about what they're trying to accomplish, right? And it's really because, look, people are smart. People are not dumb. The worst thing you could ever think is that everyone in the world is dumb and they're going to buy your products, right? They're very, very smart. And if the entrepreneur is not authentic about it, they will see that. Right? And when I saw Jessica's passion for the business, and I knew it was authentic, and she tells the story so well, right? It's, you know, you just have to join. And so I'm blessed really to have her as a partner. And I'm blessed that The Honest Company is off to a great start. We're here in Korea to promote the launch of the Honest Company in Korea. And it's the first international market we're going into outside of the United States. And the reason for that is because when we look at the Korean marketplace, mothers here are very concerned about well-being, right? And they're very concerned about, you know, what their children are eating and the health of their children. Very similar to a large portion of mothers in the U.S.
My mother's still worried about how I eat. Yes.
So does my mom. But yeah, so we're very excited to be in Korea.
Back to the brain.
Yeah.
I hear that you know, the giving back and the social responsibility is a kind of big part of the Honest Company and you as a person, and you have this very interesting sort of experience with this philanthropy. Maybe you can tell us a little bit about that.
Sure. You know, I over the years, I've always really been passionate about having social justice, and you know, when I see any social injustice, especially with children and women, I really try to get behind those causes that help them out. And so I just felt like in looking at all the nonprofits and all the charities that I've participated in, it's quite an unsustainable model, because every year you have to go and raise, you know, money for that charity, and who knows if a company's having a bad year, or a person and they can't give that year, then all of a sudden you can't serve the people that you need to, that are in need. And so I really wanted to build the nonprofit aspect into our business model. So with every purchase, a portion automatically goes to a child in need. And that's, you know, it's difficult initially to convince your people who you raise money from that that's a good idea, especially because you're not a profitable company in the beginning. But I was very adamant and passionate about that. You know, why not do more good in the world if you can? And since this is such a new model and such a different business model, I felt like we could swing for the fences, and luckily we're doing okay as a business, and we are helping children in need, so it's awesome.
And your investors...
and they're happy.
They are?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't that be?
You know, we're helping babies, but we also have a very healthy business, so we get to do both.
Yeah.
Brian,
Yes.
okay, you're a Korean American,
Yes.
and you grew up in the United States. Were you born there?
No, I was actually born in Korea, but I moved to the United States when I was less than 1 year old. So I'm basically, you know, raised in the U.S.
But you do look Korean.
I do.
And you know, I'm sure that you know, a lot of Korean, aspiring Korean entrepreneurs, business people look up to you. You know, you're a role model. Maybe you have some advice to you know, fellow Korean American or Korean entrepreneurs.
Well, that's really kind of you to say I'm a role. I've never heard that I'm a role model. So.
Well, you're my role model. You know, she called you the smartest guy in the world. So
there's so many great Korean entrepreneurs. I've met so many, like Bom Kim over at Coupang. Really admire him. I've never got to meet him, but Mr. Kim from KakaoTalk. There's so many great inspirational role models to me. But in terms of just being an entrepreneur, it's, you know, it's really living your dream. It really is. It's, you know, you have an idea, and ideas, I always say this, ideas are ideas, right? They're only ideas until you start executing on them. And to take that next step and to start executing on an idea, that's the big step. And it's a scary step for a lot of people. It was a scary step for me. I mean, when I first started my first business, I was working at a pretty large law firm. I was a lawyer. And, you know, they pay you decent money as a lawyer in the US, and it's really hard to tell your mom, I'm going to leave this law firm and I'm going to make zero money for a long time to start, you know, this new business. And so it's a big step. But what I do encourage every aspiring entrepreneur is don't be scared of that step. If you believe in what you're doing, if you believe in your idea, no one's ever going to give you anything, right? You got to go out there and you got to take it. And if you look at a certain idea and you see a wide open space, take it, because someone else will if you don't.
I heard the story that when you first started the LegalZoom.com, you actually called Robert Shapiro.
Yes.
Is that true?
That's true.
Maybe
That's
you can
true.
tell us how.
It's a good story.
Sure. So when I started LegalZoom, or came up with this idea for LegalZoom, it was pretty early in the internet age. And the biggest concern people had back in 99, 2000 was privacy online, right? And although I was working for a great firm and my partner worked for a great firm, we were asking for a lot of confidential information, like your bank account information, the names of your children, your social security numbers online. So we realized that we needed kind of a partner that everyone would recognize. And at the time, Robert Shapiro, our partner in LegalZoom, was the most famous lawyer in America. So I asked all my friends to introduce me to Robert Shapiro, and no one I knew him. Like nobody. I didn't have a good network back then. Right? But so what I did was I called information. This is before Google. So I called 411 in the United States, and
That's in Korea, Ilisa. Yeah.
Yeah. I called and I asked for Robert Shapiro, attorney in Los Angeles, and they gave me this phone number. And so it was around 9 o'clock at night, and I called the phone number, and I had my voicemail or voice message written out, and I was just going to leave him a voicemail, and he picked up the phone.
He picked up the phone himself?
At 9 o'clock at night, and he said, hello. I said, hi, this is Brian Lee. And he says, how can I help you? And I said, well, I have a business idea I want to talk to you about. And the first thing he told me was, I'm not interested, right? And I could almost tell he was about to hang up on me. And I said, wait. I said, wait. I said, how do you know you're not interested if you don't hear me out? And I think he heard how desperate I was. I think he felt bad for me. And he said, you've got 2 minutes. That's what he said, you've got 2 minutes. And in those 2 minutes, I told him the whole story of our business idea for bringing legal services online. And at the end of it, he said, I hear 100 ideas all the time, but I really like this one. So why don't you call back at a regular time and set up a lunch meeting? And
Right.
so that's how we started LegalZoom.com.
Wow, that's an incredible story. But you know that 99 times out of 100 times it doesn't work. They don't go.
Start cold calling everybody you know.
And I actually, like told, on Twitter, I said I'm going to be monitoring this. Maybe, if anybody has a question, you can just let me know. And one person who I guess went to your website and saw how beautiful the products were. And I hear that a lot of times, these sort of eco-friendly products are not necessarily pretty. And you are really adamant about making your products pretty and attractive and design like nice design.
Yeah.
Maybe where do you get the inspiration, and do you design them yourselves?
I do a lot, yeah. I mean, I oversee the design team for sure. Yeah, I mean, I felt like, if we were going to really come and enter this space and be innovative and disruptive, we should really go and try to do everything we wanted to do. And one of those things was to have not just high performance, high quality product, the solution that's inside, but have it look beautiful. You're, surrounded by these things every day. Why not have it be gorgeous? And, so that's just where it came from. I don't know. I've always loved design. I don't think something, just because it has a green leaf on it, or if it's brown or oatmeal, it doesn't necessarily make it more healthy. Why can't it be beautiful and that? So,
I also went to your website. I saw these pretty, nice, diapers. It makes me want to start a family.
Nice. And, we are mostly plant-based material, and everything that touches your baby is plant-based. And
There's a baby.
Yes. And we're 35 to 45% more absorbent than any other diaper in the marketplace. And so we prove that you don't need toxic chemicals in order to be more absorbent.
Mm-hmm. So now you have 3 founders, right? You, and Christopher.
Christopher Gavian.
And how do you guys divide your responsibilities on day-to-day operations? Are you involved, this is a full-time job for you now, right?
Yeah, I'm there every day that I'm not shooting a movie. Yeah, totally.
Okay.
From packaging, putting together our first box, and we had to test it out because we do these bundles and boxes, and we ship our products to people, and so we packed them up. We had a contest. We all packed it up in different ways and threw them out into the parking lot, and whoever didn't have an explosion inside their box won. I think I may have won.
You did win.
I was roughing it and all of our
$20 worth of tape, though.
It wasn't the most efficient, but yeah, everything from the packaging, outer packaging, to the designs on the diaper, to the product suite, what we offer. So we do everything from bug spray to sunscreen to candles, down to everything you need for your bathroom, bubble bath, shampoo, body wash, to cleaning products. So. And I do all of the fragrances with essential oils because I love that stuff as well. I was like, why do all the cleaners smell so crazy and they give me a headache? Why can't it smell lovely and amazing and inviting? So it does. All of our products smell lovely and amazing and inviting.
But when you're shooting a film,
yes,
what happens then?
Well, luckily, we have a really strong team. And, I'm still connected over email and whatnot, but the team is incredible, and again, everybody that is at The Honest Company, we're all very passionate about the mission, and so that's our number one focal point. And you really attract an incredible talent when you have such a strong mission. I believe.
Yeah,
what do you think,
absolutely.
Brian?
Absolutely, and I think, as the CEO of the company, my job is just to say no. I say no to everything. They should call me CE No. Because when a company is growing this quickly, as you can imagine, there are a lot of opportunities that get thrown your way. And the most important thing to do as a young company is to stay as focused as you can and understand what you shouldn't do. Right? That's the biggest thing, is you have to kind of know what you shouldn't do, and you have to keep focused. And to Jessica's point, we have a wonderful team. We're about 90 people right now, and we are growing nicely. But it's really just making sure everyone understands why we do what we do every day. Everyone who starts at our company spends the first week in customer service, just taking phone calls, and it doesn't matter if you're the senior VP of marketing or if you work in the warehouse, we have you go through customer service first to understand what our customers need, right? Because everything that we do, really, at the end of the day, is for the customer.
And Brian, obviously you have this strong track record with these sort of celebrity, who has this passion for a project, and they will probably now come to you like, maybe you can start my company. Have you had that, since?
Yeah, I'm too busy.
Too busy. Maybe if you're less busy, then you will take on a new sort of challenge?
I don't know. I promised my wife I was done after this one.
Okay.
So, we'll see.
And what's the future for, in terms of the company? Obviously, you guys are now, still like early young. You guys are, building your customer base, but now you're sort of expanding internationally. But what's the sort of, the future of the company? Do you want to eventually, IPO or?
No, it's, the future of the company is just to remain focused, number one. But number two is, again, to build a smart business over time. I mean, when we first got together, we both talked about, what do we want to get out of this company? And we both realized we want to build a company that we're going to be proud of, right? That not only that we're going to be proud of, but even our children will be proud of, right? So we never look at this business as, let's build something and sell it, or let's go IPO. We don't think even that way. We just think, what can we do to build a smart, good business that we're going to be proud of? And that's the only thing that we're focused on. We're not focused on exits or, there is no exit if you can't build a strong business, right? Mm-hmm. So that's what we're focused on.
And what about you, Jessica? I mean, you are still, acting. And so can you maintain, this is going to be very, being an actress, you're busy all the time. And you also have a family to raise. How do you manage that? Or
oh man, I don't. I feel like I'm always compromising something. I feel pulled in a million different directions. My children come first at the end of the day, their health and well-being. So as long as they're happy and they're good, then I have time to spend on acting or the Honest Company. It changes every day. It's always exciting, and I don't get a lot of sleep.
And you will, of course, stay involved in the company.
There's so many. We have so many great opportunities that have come our way lately, and it's really about finding some interesting partners. We have a lot of really cool things coming up. So the sky's the limit still with this business, and I'm very proud of it.
And now that you guys are, launching and expanding to Korea, does that mean that we're going to see more of you in Korea?
Hopefully. I brought my children and my husband here. We all came here on vacation last time I was here about a year ago. So hopefully I get to bring them here again. It's such a lovely city to have kids here. It's a very child-friendly city. Not every city is so good for that. You don't think so? There's so many little play areas. I don't know. My kids were loving it. They love the malls. They were going crazy in the malls.
Maybe you should move to Korea.
Okay.
And then just go to LA. When you do have a movie. A movie
yes. Here and there. Yes. My parents might miss me though.
All right. We learned a lot about the Honest Company and your passion and everything. And what can I say? Just good luck with the company.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
If I start a family, we'll become a customer.
Excellent. Good to know. And we also have cleaning products, so you can still clean your home before you have children.
All right. I guess I have to clean my place first then. Thank you so much. You want to say something before we wrap up? You want to just?
Sure. Yeah, go ahead. Just thank you so much for having us. This is such a warm and inviting room, and such a great audience. We feel I'm very humbled and honored that you guys welcomed us like this. So thank you so much. 감사합니다.
Thank you, Wonsuk, for hosting us, and also thank you to SBS and the Seoul Digital Forum. What an amazing event that is being thrown here, and we're just so excited to be even invited to this. They asked us, would you like to participate in this? And we said, of course, we would love to. And so, we've had a great stay here. Unfortunately, it's a short stay. We have to leave tomorrow night, but we had a wonderful time. And thank you again for welcoming us.
And of course, when Seoul Digital Forum and SBS asked me to participate, I, of course, said yes. And I was the envy of so many friends of mine for a long time, for several weeks now. And you actually know one more word in Korean.
Which one? Oppa.
Thank you very much. And, thank you very much. And maybe, in the coming years, we'll see more of you here
Absolutely.
at the SDF.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you very much for, participating. It was fun for me too. And I'll see you next year then.
Thank you.